you that we're waiting.
Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to News Wrap Up on Aspheric TV. I am Dayo Olujumo Ekuni. Good evening, Ogumostilala. How's been your day?
My day was
Why your specs?
Let me just do without it now.
Now I can see your true eyes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a pathetic news here. Famous South African rapper Rick has reportedly died at the age of 34. Well, the circumstances surrounding his death are still unclear, but some South African tabloids and online reports are claiming he committed suicide by hanging. Well, Rick he allegedly took his life at his estate home in the north of Johannesburg on Wednesday, that's today in the morning. Well, according to Sunday World, a source close to the situation alleged that the rapper was found in his management team at about 8:30 a.m. Well, Rick Rose, because I'm trying to give you the detailed story. Rick Rose, who once revealed that he was struggling with depression, last tweeted, "I will return a stronger man. This land is my home." A few years Rick took a break from live performances to deal with chronic depression. Speaking on his podcast Lab Live in 2020, the award-winning rapper opened up about losing his father, saying grief had put him in a dark space. Well, Rick's family is yet to release a statement, but fellow artists and friends of the rapper have started sharing condolence messages. Not too long ago, we heard that Miss USA, yes, committed suicide.
Yes.
Now again, we're getting another one. Rick, a famous rapper, has been reported committed suicide. Well, allegedly, because it's not, of course, he has been truly confirmed. But according to the source, it was out of depression and suicide. I mean, it's so pathetic whereby we have a whole lot of people, stars, so-called stars, are really going through tough times, mental health.
Most times when you see people from the outside, you could see faces of pleasure, faces of people assume as if they are okay, they are happy, but deep down they are not happy. Understand? So, but what is clear to everyone is that we must discourage suicide. It's not an option. It shouldn't be an option on anybody's table, because what you assume you are going through, some other person somewhere is going through tougher times than what you are going through. So why taking life? No, you shouldn't. Nobody should contemplate on taking his or her life. Understand? Whatever we are going through, some other persons are going through it. Some have gone through it before, and today they are out of it. So you understand? So why we should discourage it? It's not something that we would discuss it by way of encouraging it. No, we should discourage it. No matter the condition that anybody is going through, time will come that you get out of it. There is light at the end of every tunnel. So we must discourage it.
And the thing is that anything can actually cause depression in life. Not having money can cause depression.
Having money,
death of someone you love can cause depression. Anything.
Several factors could cause depression. Not having money, not having friends people that are supposed to be around you.
And some have friends.
Some have friends. Again, they will refuse to confide in them. That look, this is what I'm going through. You understand? Some that were previously extroverts, suddenly they will become retracted to themselves. You understand? People around them now should watch. You see, the fact is that once you have a loved one, you must watch over your loved one. You shouldn't just assume as if, look, he has stopped calling me, she has stopped calling me. She's okay. No, once in a while, reach out to her, talk to him. You understand? That moment that you reach out to her or him, it could be the last moment. It could be a life saving. You understand? So, but oftentimes we just assume and say, he's not calling me, she's not calling me, she's fine, she's that. No.
Don't assume.
We assume a lot, so we shouldn't assume. A lot of people are going through depression. Remember that before we talk about depression, we'll talk about frustration, you understand? Whatever condition that anybody is going through, don't let yourself down. Most times people let themselves down. Even if you are down, just believe that you will rise again. Understand? By the time you just see yourself as if you are down, you will now start thinking. You say, okay, you now apply it to only yourself. It's not only you. A lot of people around the world are going through depressing moments. Those strong hearts, at the end of the day, they get out of it. Even in South Africa, we could see the lesson learned from Nelson Mandela, someone that was married, incarcerated for 27 years, have a woman like that. So this is a lesson. Apart from that, again, there are some other little people around us that you learn one way or the other way. Nobody should contemplate about suicide. It shouldn't be an option. Reach out. If you think about suicide, you should think about the loved ones. The loved ones we're talking about now is not about the people that are related to you by blood only. It's far beyond them. When you walk out, somebody somewhere, even your co-worker, that is every day he will see you and say, Dayo, how are you doing? Dayo, how are you doing? He will see you taking something, he will just due to play love, to share that love with you, just come and grab it from you and eat, and you will laugh. You understand? Someone give you a call, they say, look, you are pissed off. The moment you yourself, you just calm down, you reach out again, you make a call. You are solving a problem. Understand? Instead of adding to a problem that will aggravate somebody's anger, then will lead to depression. So people should not contemplate about suicide. It shouldn't be an option at all. The life in us wasn't given to us by ourselves. We are not the maker of this life, so we don't have any right to take the life, even if we breathe it. Some purposes are there. While you are thinking about saying, okay, you don't have money, somebody has that money, is in the hospital. He's praying that, look, God, take all the billions I have
and give me good health.
And give me good health. Somebody is there. Somebody is there. All the money is there. His children, all the children he has, they are all wayward. He's thinking about, say, look, what will I do? Then you are there. You are still hopeful. And then you just condemn yourself to say, no, because when somebody think about suicide, he has condemned himself.
And he lacks faith, so much faith in God. Because
so we are not the maker of our life, so we shouldn't contemplate that at all. It shouldn't be an option on anybody's table.
Aside from self-motivation, and the other thing you can do most of the time, not most of it, always keep praying. Because there are sometimes, prayer is very, very important, because sometimes you might not be able to find strength within. Sometimes you might just get so suppressed. With all that you are saying now, some might not even be able to. They'll think about it that some might be in this position. Then that same spirit within them will say again that, well, even if someone is in this kind of position, must I be the one in this kind of position? You understand?
That is it. And then prayer, whether we like it or not, where there is good, there is evil. You understand? Where there is good, there is evil. Some people will tell you that, look, they'll keep hearing a voice telling them, take your life.
Take your life, yes.
Take your life. You understand?
Just
ignore it. Ignore and support it with prayer. Because that voice that is keep on singing to you that you should take your life is voice of evil. So, and you can only tackle evil with prayer. Understand? We are talking about spiritual now. You understand? So you just have to suppress that voice with prayers. Understand? We are all Nigerians, although it's happening in South Africa, it's happening here. You understand? It's happening here. We are seeing it. If you are a young man or a young woman prospecting admission, maybe you fail your JAMB once, twice, 3 times. Some other persons have wrote JAMB like 7 times. You understand? Some they could not get the admission. At the end of the day, they end up at Open University. There are a lot of instances like that we need to learn from. Somebody is looking for a job. He stayed 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, no job. We know how Nigerian family, typical Nigerian families are. Maybe it's the firstborn or the first daughter. Since no job, she becomes irrelevant in the family. Nobody considers her as anything again. They are living. At the end of the day, some of them, they aspired and pursue some other dream in life, and they excel. So we shouldn't just think about suicide. It shouldn't be an option on anybody's mind.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, disturbed by the increasing cases of ritual killings in the society, the Ekiti State Council of Elders has charged religious leaders in the country to place less emphasis on riches and wealth in their respective worship centers. Well, the elders who expressed sadness on the killings and kidnappings pervading the country noted that if clerics and other leaders don't celebrate and place a premium on riches, it would go a long way to address the situation. Well, in the statement signed by the chairman of the council, Professor Joseph Oluwasomi, and the secretary, Niya Jibolu, on Wednesday, that's today, the council said that the situation has created apprehension among the citizens, which he said, if not nip in the board, could jeopardize the societal values of the country and also peace. Well, the council called on parents also and other stakeholders in the society to contribute their quota in addressing the situation by being firm and decisive in the affairs of their words. Yes, they first of all mentioned the religious houses and parents and
the fact is that the emphasis on religious houses because of what? Religion, apart from the family setting, the first is religion. We are a religious nation. The only other side we don't know and people have been contemplating about is whether we are godly. We are religious, very religious. Nigeria is a very religious country. Everywhere you see mosques, everywhere you see churches. Yet, when we are talking about morality, we are far from morals. You understand? Then this incidence of ritual killing is becoming alarming, rampant everywhere. And it's not just ritual killing now. We are talking about teenagers veering into ritual killing, which is disturbing. Like the Ekiti traditional rulers they have come up to say, it's high time religious houses, they should have a rethink into the kind of messages they preach. Into religious leaders, religious figures, they ought to live an exemplary life for others to emulate. But based on what they are saying now is that even the religious houses, they are glamorizing wealth. So to the extent that, look, their followers too, they are adherent to, and I'm saying, as if you are moving or you are living the life based at your own pace, as if something is wrong with you. So you discover that like the case in Abeokuta last time, 17 years old boy, what is he gonna do with millions? That is the moral decadence that we're talking about. You discover that wherever that boy makes his money, instead of his parents to sit him down to say, look, young man, how did he get this money? When we're growing up as a young man, if you come back from school and you don't eat, you are in trouble. Because our parents will just look at, where did we eat? Eating outside is like a taboo. You must eat in your home. If as little as eating in your home is compulsory, what more of you have money? Where did you make the money from? But now you discover that parents don't even care. You have money on you, some parents will even take that money from you. Some parents even depend on their daughters for livelihood. How they make that money, nobody knows. So you now discover that a lot of moral decadence is going on now. A lot of menace. We're talking about menace of ritualists, young men using their girlfriend. They deceive those girls in the name of love. Or I don't know, let me not say they deceive. I believe that initially the love will exist. But suddenly, that evil thought of they want money, they will now use their own girlfriend too for rituals. So it's happening. So, like the traditional rulers have said, they are the custodians of tradition. They have added their voice. It's now left for religious houses to say, okay, look, this is a problem. We must assist the society to solve this problem. If they don't assist, they are stakeholders. If they don't assist to solve the problem, this thing will continue like this. We are talking about 17 years old boys. It will continue to go down till we start having 10 years old boys. God forbid.
Wow.
In some places, we're on live TV. We're not supposed to say some of these things or mention places. In some places in Nigeria, these young men, they use their own mother. I was in Kano last time where a friend, my classmate, was telling me the story that a young man wanted to use his mother in his hometown. That he lays the drink that he gave to his mother. He lays it with something to sleeping pills that will make her sleep, so that he can make love to his mother for rituals. You can imagine, these are things that are happening. We're talking about young men less than 25. That happened 2 years ago, but now we're talking about the current one is 17 years teenagers thinking about money. Where do we start from? Is it the failure on the part of the family, the father, the parents, or the society? If you watch very well, the young women, they are part of the society, they are part of the system. You understand? But the first part in their life is about the family setting. Once that failure starts from the family setting, there is every tendency that young man, that young woman will go outside the world and become something else. So the religious houses, they are kind of mind molders. They mold, if not now, when we are growing up, we are talking about teachers. Then you talk about pastors, imam. Their own children, they live a quiet life, a kind of a unique lifestyle. That's, once you see them, you know that these are children from social homes. But now you discover that a lot of things is happening as if the religious houses are setting the agenda, so that you now discover that a lot of everybody want to become rich. Let's not even talk about the politicians. Why we are not talking about politicians is because those ones, they are deceitful. That is their own lifestyle. Once you veer into politics, the first thing that will come to your mind is how to become rich. Whether you like it, no matter how they get rich, that one is there. But we are talking about people that interface between us and God. They should be able to live a kind of life, a godly lifestyle that we too will emulate. So the traditional rulers, they are right.
Well, there was a fire accident at the Federal Ministry of Finance earlier in the early hours of today. Eyewitnesses said the fire was caused by an explosion of expired inverter batteries at the basement of the minister's building. However, it was learned that that there was no casualty nor any major damage to the building, as security officers in the premises promptly put out the fire. But one thing I want to ask: how would you have, that all these things are expired? What are they still doing? I don't understand.
That is the official statement they are giving. You understand? Let me tell you one thing. It seems as if you don't know things about public administration, public sector. Take, for instance, let's assume that this studio is a ministry. And I'm telling you this for a fact of what is existing. Somebody will say, okay, this phone you are carrying is no more working. Whereas you, the user, is serving you well, they don't have any problem with it. They will make a requisition for the replacement. That requisition that they will make for the replacement, once the fund is assigned, allocated for it, they know how to forge a document, and in place of this, the money will go, but you'll still be using this phone. It's all about writing report. So you now discover that, say, battery is this, that, no, but it could be saboteurs. It could be saboteurs. Once battery has expired, you can't tell me that, look, in a place like a Federal Ministry of Finance, no AC. You understand? You can't tell me that. I will refuse to accept that there are no AC. So battery will just stay like that because it's expired and it will just explode. If it's because of that, then almost all the houses that are in town, because I know a lot of houses are using inverter, and a lot of houses, once the battery is no more working again, you discover that instead of serving you for the number of hours that it's supposed to serve you, it will come to a point that it will not even serve you. It can't even retain energy. So now they are telling us that it sparked and exploded and almost consumed the building. Next now, the house, the finance ministry will be renovated. Contract will be awarded for the renovation. You understand? Those things that are damaged in the inferno, they will be replaced. Contract will be awarded. So you cannot see it. It's now left for you now to decode what is happening.
Well, there are so many things hidden. In
Ours is just a watch. You understand? So the official statement. Let's go with the official statement. And look, the battery explode and cause the fire outbreak in the building. So let's just take it like that. But if you go to the street now, Nigerians will assume when they hear about Minister of Finance, their own thought is that there was so much money in that office. You understand? This is not the first time. So they will just say, after all, they have taken the billions and they burned the place. That is what they will say.
So thank you everyone for staying with us on News Wrap Up at Spheric TV. I am Daryl Joy. Thank you, Uncle Mustilala, Mr. Abdul Malik, Mustafa. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media handles: Facebook at Spheric News, Instagram at Spheric.news, and Twitter at Spheric News. Do have a wonderful night. Thank you. Bye.